Well, I got a minute. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Jeff.
Oh, hi, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Good. Good to hear from you. I don't owe you any money, so everything should be okay.
So I'm going to hook up to my hotspot.
Okay, and we are live, friends, just so you know, and we have a transcript. Ready to roll, Kathy?
I seem to have slow speed on wireless.
We're live at 5, friends, so here we go. Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to Stamp Chat. My name's Heidi Rhodes. Summer is thankfully just around the corner, and we're gearing up for our 42nd summer seminar to be held online during the month of June. We have on our show Dr. Kathy Brackbill, Director of Education here at the APS, Denise Shivery, APS Education Coordinator, as well as various summer seminar instructors, including Ron Lesher, Wayne Youngblood, Steve McGill, Ken Martin, T.G. Rakop, and Jeff Shapiro. Listen, learn, and ask your questions. We've made some changes and added some fun activities, and this year we're offering an all-access pass. So we'll be talking about all things summer seminar today on Stamp Chat. Stamp Chat is the production of the American Philatelic Society. For over 40 years, the APS has organized and hosted the Summer Seminar of Philatelic. Summer Seminar offers a month of learning with distinguished instructors, a time to dig deep into specific studies and socialize with fellow collectors who understand the quirks of the hobby. And with that, let's get started. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Dr. Brackbill, go ahead and get us started to our guide.
All right, I want to share my screen and welcome everyone. I am very, very excited about this year's summer seminar. We have some really exciting news to share with you today. And we have new elements that have been added this year that will make it a not to be missed event. So one of the first things that you're going to experience when you attend summer seminar are SSO chats, and SSO stands for Summer Seminar Online. And there are different elements to summer seminar SSO chats, and one will be show and tell. There will be show and tell time on Monday evenings from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And all the times that I talk about today will be Eastern Daylight Time zone. So plan accordingly. The first Monday of summer seminar, June 7th, the show and tell will be about stamps. So if you have a favorite stamp that you would like to share, or it could be a revenue stamp, it could be an EFO, it could be a precancel, it could be a Machen. So any stamp that you feel that you want to share, come and join us on June 7th. The second Monday of Summer Seminar Online, the show and tell sharing will be all about covers. So if you have cover or something about postal history that you would like to share, that will be the event you won't want to miss. And the third show and tell will be June 21st, and that will be sharing about literature. And literature can be a book that you read that you would like to share or discuss with others. It could be an article that you read or one that you wrote that you would like to comment on, or it could be about a special or a favorite journal or newsletter. So those will be show and tell opportunities on Monday evenings. On Tuesday and Thursday evenings will be exhibit tours. So we will be having an exhibit hall this year, and they will be one frame exhibits, and those that are selected to post their exhibits can sign up to lead a tour of their exhibit. And those exhibit tours would last 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the number of people that choose to be a tour guide of their exhibit. And those, like I said, will be every Tuesday and Thursday evening, the 3 weeks of summer seminar. On Wednesdays will be Let's Talk Forums, and Let's Talk Forums will be just that, an hour opportunity to chat with other people about specified topics. The first topic will be June 9th, and that will be anything that you want to talk about when you're collecting US. The second Wednesday night, June 16th, will be Let's Talk About Postal History. And that could be US postal history, or it could be another country of your choosing. And then the third Wednesday evening, June 23rd, will be Let's Talk About Collecting Great Britain. And that topic was chosen so that those people who are in the Matins class might want to come and interact with each other, or those of you that haven't learned about Matins yet or have other favorites, that would be the time for you to come and talk about collecting Great Britain. A fourth opportunity for SSO chats is what are calling APS Exchange, and that's an opportunity to interact with a few of our APS staff members. So and this will be Fridays from 11 a.m. till noon Eastern Daylight Time. June 11th, Gary Lowe, our APS editor in charge, will be talking about the results of his American Philatelist reader surveys that he's been conducting for the past couple of months. On June 18th, Heidi Rhodes and Christian Carpenter will be talking about what it takes to plan and produce stamp chats and the weekly e-newsletter. And then on June 25th will be your opportunity to interact with APS Education Department staff to share your thoughts about this year's summer seminar online. So if you want to interact with APS staff in a rather informal session, that would be your opportunity to do so. Denise.
Hi, everyone. Another exciting thing we're going to have this year is an online auction. And there'll be items donated from various APS departments, and we'll have anything from books to stamps, covers, philatelic supplies. And we're going to host that online through a platform called Bidding Owl. It's pretty simple. Anyone who's familiar with eBay or things of that sort should be able to get the hang of it pretty easily. Payments will be through PayPal. So if you have a PayPal account, you're already all set up for that. And you'll be able to do it on either your computer or any mobile device. So your iPads, your tablets, your phones, it'll work as well.
And all of the items that will be in the auction will be from our vast archives here at the APS. And proceeds will benefit both the APS Education Department and the American Philatelic Research Library. Another new addition to Summer Seminar Online is our virtual exhibit hall. So if you have a single frame exhibit that you would like to display, you are welcome to put your name in and put it in the exhibit hall. There won't be any judging of the exhibits. There won't be any popularity contests, but people certainly enjoy looking at the exhibits of others. And during the optional guided tours that are Tuesday and Thursday evenings, you'll have a chance to interact with people about their exhibits. So that's one frame exhibit. We are going to limit it to 25 total exhibits. And those people who are registered for the All Access Pass will get preferred slots for putting their exhibits into the virtual exhibit hall.
And to bring a little bit more of the feel of an in-person event, we're giving out e-swag bags this year. And They'll be accessible in your C3A account starting at the beginning of the summer seminar on June 7th. And we'll have several ebooks available, coupons from various services and products here at the APS will be worth at least $25. We'll also have some bonus coupons and ebooks available exclusively for the All Access Pass holders. And the final item that we'll have is some fun digital wallpapers, of course, Philatelic themed for our Zoom meetings or GoToMeetings as we're participating in the summer seminar.
I don't know about you, but I would really like one of those swag bags. Another new feature for summer seminar this year is a community forum. The C3A learning platform has a spot for people to interact who are registered for a specific course. I've only used this function so far with 2 different courses, and that was back in the fall. But there will be a forum just for people who are registered for summer seminar. So if you go to, when you're in C3A, the community tab, there will be a place just for 2021 summer seminar online attendees. So you can start a conversation thread, or you can add your thoughts to a conversation. You can meet new people, you can trade and share, but it will be open to only summer seminar participants. Now, this is my attempt to look like the Brady Bunch and the 9 squares. I was inspired by a documentary I saw a couple weeks ago on the Brady Bunch and how this became an iconic symbol. So we have 8 courses that are the central part of summer seminar. The reason why people come back to summer seminar every year is because they enjoy interacting with the experts and they enjoy learning new things. So we are going to learn more about those courses to get you excited about attending this year. So first off, Introduction to U.S. Postal History will be taught by Jeff Shapiro. And Jeff Shapiro is a gold medal winning exhibitor and writer, a member of the APS Board of Vice Presidents, and he is truly a master of U.S. 20th century postal history. So, Jeff, tell us about your course.
Well, it's everything you've ever wanted to know about covers. You take a look at a cover and believe that every cover tells a story. In the 3 sessions, hopefully you'll be able to understand the simple aspects of postal history, which is a study of postal systems and how they operate, and the study of rates, markings, routes, and means of transportation. But because nothing is simple, we're going to go dive into the complex by a few studies. The first one, geographical studies, which is mail from and mail to. Transportation studies, including maritime, airmail, and railways, and lots of others. And the third is subject-based studies, including postal rates, services like express, registration, parcel post, military mail, postal stationery, Markophily, and pre-adhesive mail. You'll have a good time.
So it certainly sounds like there will be a jam-packed course of 3 sessions that are an hour and 15 minutes each. Next, Building Blocks of Stamp Production is the second course that will be taught on Mondays at a different time than Jeff's course, and it will be presented by Wayne Youngblood. Wayne is a Luff Award winner for outstanding service to the APS. He's a longtime instructor at Summer Seminar and a prolific writer. I can tell you from several years of course evaluations for Wayne's stamp technology course that he teaches at usual face-to-face summer seminar, people want to come back year after year because they enjoy learning so much from Wayne. So Wayne, tell us about your course.
Alrighty, well, we're going to try something a little bit different this year. Normally in the course of a summer seminar, when we've got the whole week to work with, we deal with all the various aspects of stamp production, from printing on through all the building blocks, as we'll do here, processing and identification of different printing types and such. Because we covered that earlier this year with the printing types and such, we thought we'd give it a try with just doing the building blocks. So what are the building blocks of stamp production? Well, you've got the paper itself, you've got the ink, you've got adhesives, you've got phosphorescent tagging, you've got all the different things that go into making what the Postal Service used to like to call a postage stamp sandwich. All the various layers of meat, lettuce, tomato, whatever the philatelic equivalents are for a postage stamp. So we will go into each of those. Again, because of the worldwide nature of stamp production, we won't get into too specific type of things. For example, paper is an extremely complex. We could do an entire course on paper, but we'll do some of the general characteristics of handmade versus machine made, how paper is typically made. And there is one of my favorite terms, and I'll go ahead and use it up now before that. One of my favorite terms is the paper pulp. There's a very specific term for that. And while I can't ask everybody if they know what it is, that very specific term is, you ready for it? Stuff. That is the so you'll learn about that. You'll learn about hanging chads. You'll learn about all kinds of different things and all the various building blocks of stamp production.
So if you want to learn about stuff, then don't miss Wayne's course that will be on Mondays during Summer Seminar Online. U.S. Stamp Design, Engraving and Printing 1894 to 1950 will be presented by Charles Posner. He's not able to be with us today as he's in the UK and had a previous obligation, but I do want to tell you about Charles. He's from the University of London Institute of Education and has conducted extensive research into the designers and engravers of post-1894 US stamps. His knowledge of those designers and their backstories is mesmerizing, and he can just tell those stories and give those explanations and give the whole cultural and political background of the time. And it's things that you don't want to miss. So his course will examine the Bureau of Engraving and Printing's involvement in the development, design, and printing of U.S. postal stamps. And it's that knowledge of historical and political influences of the time that will provide you with a rich understanding of how the BEP evolved and how the innovations in stamp production actually occurred during that time. So that's Charles's course that will be on Tuesdays during summer seminar. Up next, the British Matins, their origins, technical aspects, and varieties will be taught by Steve McGill. Steve is a large gold medal winning exhibitor, an acclaimed author, and highly praised lecturer on the topic of Matins. In fact, when he was here for summer seminar a few years ago, he was truly a rock star to his students, and been trying to get him back ever since. Well, since we can't do face-to-face, virtual is the way to go. And Steve, tell us about your course.
Okay, well, good afternoon. The course is designed to give an overview of what essentially is perhaps the best modern material opportunity to really deep dive into philatelic aspects of the stamp. It's far beyond just collecting the stamps by color or denomination. It involves a whole range of aspects of production and materials and inks that make it extremely similar to studying any of the substantial classic series that might be out there. Specifically, in the first session, we're going to talk about the artistic origins of the stamp design. It actually comes from a sculpture. We'll talk about Arnold Machin just a little bit, who was sometimes a crazy person and sometimes an outstanding sculptor. We'll also talk about catalogs and stamp numbering. It can be quite diverse for this series, and how you collect is actually very dependent on the kinds of catalogs that you use. The second session, we're going to deep dive a little bit into printing processes and printers that have been involved with the Machin, and also into the phosphor and fluorescent materials that have been employed. The Machin was front and center along with the Wilding series. It's the series just before the Machins in developing British stamps, not just as postage paid indicators, but as machine interactive devices. So we'll jump into that pretty heavily. Day 3, I'm going to go backwards just a bit for a few minutes into paper and gum. There are some very interesting varieties that have been used, and then move from there to the non-value indicated portion of the series. This is similar to the US Forever stamps, but most of the later technical developments in the series have come from that portion of the Machins. And then hopefully we'll wrap it up with questions and comments.
Just like the previous descriptions of the courses, there will be 3 jam-packed sessions and lots to learn. Precancels. This is a Wednesday course at a different time than Steve's. And this one with precancels. First, let me tell you about T.G. Raykop, who is the instructor. T.G. is a 39-year member of the Precancel Stamp Society and has served as president and vice president of that organization, where he's currently secretary and database manager. Now, Steve must have been 5 years old when he joined that society, but he is a renowned expert when it comes to precancels. So, TG, tell us about your course.
Okay, this year we're going to do the precancel course. Typically, that's a 4-day course when we have it in person. So we'll cut it down and get it into 3 hour and 15-minute sessions. We'll skip some of the topics. We'll talk about the history of the precancels and background, how the regulations that were put into place by the post office generated how precancels were used and what they looked like. Spend quite a bit of time on the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, printed precancels. Also with a little bit of time spent on some of the counterfeits of those. And then, other than the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, the local post offices in the US produce their own precancels. So we'll spend quite a bit of time on those because there's vast majority of those compared to the bureaus. And then we'll wrap it up with the Precancel Stamp Society has a computer program that you can use to help you identify precancels, create checklists so you know what you've got, print album pages. So we'll spend time on that, emphasizing how to it will help you identify your precancels. So I think when we're done, you'll have a pretty good idea of what precancels you've got, and you've got them in the right spot in your album.
Well, thank you, TG. I think that there's a lot to be learned with precancels, and just the fact that there's album pages. You have no idea how many requests we get for album pages on a daily basis around here. So the series of 1917 documentary stamps and their overprints will also be offered on Wednesday at a different time than precancels, and it will be offered by Ron Lesher. Ron is author of the column The Tax Collector, published in most issues of the American Stamp Dealer and Collector for the past 15 years. He's an authority on all things revenue, and his knowledge and understanding of the politics and what was going on historically during the different times of these revenue stamps is truly amazing. So, Ron.
This is going to be a different kind of course than I've ever taught before. The participants will have the opportunity to help revise the Scott Specialized Catalog on the series of 1917 documentary stamps and their overprints. Let's begin by saying that in the listings, there is a headnote describing Type 1 and Type 2. Type 1 is with dots in the little circles to the right and left of the word cent or cents. Type 2 has no dots in those circles. And we're going to add a Type 3. Let me describe. First of all, the first printings of these stamps were done by offset lithography in Buffalo, New York by a contractor. Here's an example. Looks very different. That is a plate number 50. It's in manuscript. That's actually Type 2 in the catalog. There are no dots in those circles, as you can see. Congress found out about this and said, oh, no, you don't, Internal Revenue. You've got to use the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, even though there were some employees of the Bureau of Engraving and Printing up in Buffalo monitoring the printing of these stamps. Lo and behold, the plates were brought back. Actually, the design was brought back to the Bureau, and they added dots in those circles. Kathy, if you jump to the next one. You have another, there we go. And you see a nice bold dot in those circles to the right and left of the word cent. This is actually Type 1 in the Scott catalog, but it chronologically is the second one. They added dots. They are secret marks indicating that a different printer had printed them. And in 1924, the Bureau, being on the cutting edge of printing, was tired of making so many offset plates to generate these stamps that, lo and behold, they came up with a new way of creating a plate to be used on the offset presses. It is variously called high etch plates, or letter set, as described by George Brett. The edges are not very sharp. If you look very carefully here at the top edge, you will see it looks like some splash outside the design and an extra line there. It's a frequent characteristic. This was used from 1924 until 1940, when they stopped using these stamps and stopped overprinting them for other purposes. And the product of the three sessions will be a proposal to Scott Publications to incorporate three types of the series of 1917 documentary stamps and their various overprints.
So exciting times when there's a possibility of a summer seminar course resulting in changes to the Scott catalog. The next class, Washington and Franklin's, will be presented on Thursday by Guy Gasser, and Guy's not able to be with us today. But Guy is a West Point graduate and a career Army man. He's collected stamps for over 40 years. And because he enjoys helping others to learn about the hobby, he's developed a course to help you make sense of the almost 200 varieties of the Washington Franklin's Definitive Series. During this course, you will investigate design elements, perforations, printing methods, and watermarks to enable you to identify these different varieties. This is considered an introduction to the identification of Washington and Franklin's, and typically it was a 2-day course at Summer Seminar of 10 hours, and now it's been boiled down into what can be accomplished online in 3 sessions. So think about Washington and Franklin's. And our eighth course that will occur on Thursdays will be offered by Ken Martin, Introduction to Competitive Philatelic Exhibiting. And Ken is an employee of the American Philatelic Society. He's been here for over 25 years, where he's worn many hats. He's currently Director of Expertising. Ken is a nationally accredited philatelic judge since 2003. He's also very positive and patient. Ken is uniquely qualified as an instructor for aspiring exhibitors. If I would want to be an exhibitor, or if I had an exhibit that I would want to improve, Ken is the person I would want to work with. I would want his feedback because of his patience and his knowledge and how thoughtful he is. So Ken, tell us about your course.
Thanks, Kathy. The course will be aimed primarily for people who haven't done an exhibit before, certainly haven't had a lot of experience showing it nationally. I mean, you may have had an exhibit at a local club or something. We'll start out with certainly the basics of what is an exhibit, how's an exhibit different from a collection, you know, how many pages or frames you need, the different types of exhibits. We'll also look at different reasons to exhibit. There's not one right or wrong reason to exhibit. There's many different reasons, maybe a combination of those. Then we'll move on to how to get started, selecting a subject that's appropriate for what you want to do, that will help you tell a story, how you can outline a story of what you want to do, and you know, what type of exhibit you want it to be. So which will help you determine the type of material that would be expected in it, especially if you're interested in acquiring as high an award as possible. And some ideas for identifying and finding material to fit the exhibit to tell your story, as well as what is acceptable to include or may not be acceptable to include generally. Then we'll talk about putting the exhibit together, you know, the basics of putting a page together. What are the different elements that need to be in a page? What are the key parts of an exhibit, such as a title page, a plan, chapters, a conclusion, what you can use or should use as illustrations, whether it be maps or blow-ups, and some techniques or tricks of the trade, such as, you know, windowing, so you can only show part of an item, a cover where most of the cover is really not relevant, or how to handle an oversized item, how to highlight to emphasize so that viewers' attention see key items such as matting or borders or just putting a single item on a page. And then finally, we'll talk about, well, not finally, but then we'll move on to judging criteria, what the judges will look for, at least the national or international level, and how they're going to evaluate your exhibit. You know, treatment importance, philatelic and related knowledge, personal study, condition rarity, presentation. And then choosing a show that's appropriate, hopefully so that you can work your way up if your ultimate goal is getting as high a middle level as possible, and what you need to do to exhibit at a show, whether it be mailing your exhibit in or hopefully, accompanying your exhibit, but also preparing information to help the judges do the best job possible and hopefully help make your exhibit get the highest award again. And then once you've chosen a show and shown it, how to use the feedback that hopefully you get in writing on an exhibit evaluation form or in person at an exhibit feedback session, and how to use that to improve your exhibit and to move forward.
So thanks, Ken. There's a lot that people will learn about exhibiting in your course. So I just want to thank these gracious experts who are willing to share their knowledge with you as other collectors. So they have stuff they want to share, they're willing to do it, and their courses and their preparation will be, an experience that you won't want to miss. In addition to hearing their presentations, you'll also get to interact with the experts during your course. We have plenty of question and answer time placed within each course, and you will have a chance to ask questions. We may not get to all of the questions to answer them, but we will certainly make sure that everything you ask can get an answer if possible. So Denise.
So in addition to being able to interact with the experts during our Q&A, we know it's also important the conversations that you have after the learning sessions are over. Typically at a conference, you're sitting around in the classroom afterwards, or perhaps over the snack table and chatting about what you've just learned. So we want to be able to bring that experience to our online summer seminar as well. So we'll be holding what we're calling Talk 30 sessions, which will be 30 minutes following the regular session. Any participants who would like to join, a link will be posted in the chat box at the end of the session, and then you can join the presenter and your fellow classmates for an opportunity to turn on your webcam, unmute your mic, and talk about what you've just learned and connect with the other participants.
So I'm excited about the Talk 30, and this will be a new venture for all of you to be guinea pigs. You'll also get a recording library. All the courses will be recorded. The recordings will be edited, and then those recordings will be placed in your C3A learning platform. You'll be able to access them whenever you want. You'll be able to pause them, rewind them, watch them, and you'll have those in your library for future reference. And along with that, any of the handouts that are provided will be added there too. Free Fridays. Free Fridays were a huge success last year, and we didn't want to not offer them again. So these are the titles for Free Fridays. The first two on the list will be offered on June 11th. The Researching Postal History in Washington, D.C. will be offered by Dr. Susan Smith, who's the Winton M. Blount Research Chair at the Smithsonian National Postal Museum. Wendy Mazzorti, our Director of Membership here at the APS, will do membership in a nutshell. On June 18th, How to Write Philatelic Articles that Get Published will be presented by Gary Lowe, APS Editor-in-Chief, and Susanna Mills, who is our Associate Editor. Also on June 18th, Scott Tiffany, our APS Director of Information Services and the head librarian for the APRL, will present Remotely Speaking. And he did notice the other day that his is the longest title of anything we offered this year in summer seminar. Then on the last Friday, on June 25th, Carol Hoffman will present a session on Discover Circuit Sales and Stamp Store. Our last session for summer seminar online this year will be with Scott English, APS Executive Director, and the other APS directors talking about linking the past, the present, and the future. So that's free Fridays. Denise.
So this year we're adding exciting and hopefully easy new feature. We're calling it the All Access Pass. And if you're saying, wow, Kathy, all of these sessions sound so great, I want to do every single one of them, this is your ticket. You get all 8 summer seminar online courses. You get all of the free Friday seminars, all of the Talk 30 after sessions, all of the SSO chat sessions that Kathy talked about at the beginning, the show and tell, all of that is included in your All Access Pass. Plus, there's more. You'll also get the recording and handout library for every one of the sessions. You'll get some special perks for being an All Access Pass holder, such as preferred exhibitor status. We'll have some special bonus items in your eSwag bag for you. You'll also be able to participate in the online auction, the community forum, which is online through C3A. And the most fun part, I know I've heard about the stamps in a bucket thing that people really like at summer seminar. So we will send All Access Pass holders a stamped treasure box so you can dig for your very own treasure from the comfort of your own home. Now, all of this for just $200. This is an $80 savings over paying for each of the courses individually. So if you look at it where, if you were going to sign up for a lot anyhow, this gets you a few free courses, plus you get the awesome gifts that will be exclusive only for All Access Pass holders. I'm really, really pushing this stamp treasure box. I think it's such a fun idea.
And it was actually Denise's idea. So yay, Denise. The other thing with the All Access Pass, if it's not possible for you to attend all 8 of the sessions, that's okay, because you'll get the recording and the handouts anyway. And that will just add to your library of learning elements on C3A. Now, if it's just not for you to do an All Access Pass, single registration for a single course provides you with the link to the 3 sessions. It gives you the session recordings and handout for the session that you're registered for. It gets you the elements that are contained in the eSwag bag, access to the online auction, exhibit hall access, the SSO chat links, and the ability to play on the community forum. And all that is $35 a course. And don't you love the beautiful cover on this, Your Complete Guide to Summer Seminar? Denise designed this. So Denise, tell us about this.
I was thinking about vacation. That's what I was thinking about. So I know we've gone over a lot of information here today. So we created this handy dandy guide, Your Complete Guide to Summer Seminar online, and it's available on our website at stamps.org/summer-seminar. And there's a button right on there where you can access a lovely flip book and be able to view all of this information that we talked about. There's a handy calendar in there that shows you all of the sessions at a glance for the entire summer seminar. So you can easily pick and choose your schedule, what you'll be participating in. So that's a really good resource if you can't remember every single thing that we've said today.
And in addition, registration will start May 1st. It will end June 1st. It will not be extended because we will need the time from June 1st until June 7th to make sure everything's ready for registered students. And information that describes all of the courses can be found at stamps.org/summer-seminar, along with the beautiful handout that Denise created. And I also put my office phone number down at the bottom if you need to call and ask questions. So, Heidi, do we have any questions?
So I have been asking, no questions so far because I think that you guys have done a very thorough job. However, I am seeing that we have a lot of enthusiasm in the chat box and friends that are signing up for the first time, and we are welcoming back some attendees from the past. So it looks exciting, and people are getting hyped. So. And that all access pass is really the way to go. There's no doubt.
And the other thing, if you have questions, you can always email Denise and I at education@stamps.org.
And I'm just making sure we haven't gotten anything new.
So, my wonderful instructors, do you have anything else you would like to share or any thoughts that you have? I can tell you when we launched this Talk 30 idea, all of the instructors are on board with that. They are really excited about being able to have an informal chat after instruction has concluded. The hope is that the students in the class will engage in the conversation and that it just won't be more, let's just pull everything we can out of our poor instructor.
Yeah, what a great opportunity to be able to engage with the instructor and with each other. That intimacy is something that we've learned is really important and valuable. And after a year of virtual learning, I think that was an excellent idea that you guys came up with to have this Talk 30, where the students could engage with the instructors. And with that, if there are no further questions, that testimony to how thorough a job you all did. Just going to make sure that there's nothing over here on YouTube. Instead, we hear they cannot wait to sign up. So that we'll take that if there aren't any questions, but plenty of accolades.
I will say, if you want to check the website sometime on Thursday, you might have a pleasant surprise instead of waiting till May 1st.
Ooh, teaser. Teaser. So definitely check back on stamps.org regularly and maybe on Thursday. Well, I want to, if there aren't any further questions and if our instructors don't have anything else that they would like to contribute, then bang up job. Thank you for presenting and taking this time to share all the goodies about the 42nd summer seminar. Really looking forward to it. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And don't forget about that all access pass. It makes it so easy. You don't have to think about which one I'm going to go to. And it's just the best. So be a high roller and go for it.
And again, if you have any troubles with registration, email education@stamps.org and we will help you figure it out.
Absolutely. No question or problem too small. Here we are, ready to help. So thanks everyone for joining us, and thank you for all of our friends that joined us online. Again, this was all about summer seminar, and I'm sure that everybody's starting to get excited about making their summer plans. And if you're not exactly ready to travel, what a perfect escape. Summer seminar, 42nd go round from Bellefonte, Pennsylvania, but it'll be streaming online wherever you are. Thanks everyone for joining us. Stamp Chat is a production of the American Philatelic Society. With membership starting at just $25, you can join 135 years of fellowship in the hobby and start taking advantage of membership benefits now, like signing up for Summer Seminar. Thanks for joining us. You'll find this and more Stamp Chats on the APS YouTube channel, where you can subscribe, like, and comment in the field below to keep the conversation going. Again, if you have any questions for Dr. Brackbill or Denise, you can always get in touch with them, education@stamps.org. Until our next Stamp Chat, remember to connect, collect, learn, and be inspired. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course on stamps.org on Thursday. Wink, wink. And that's all for now. The American Philatelic Society, social since 1886. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we'll see you in June.
Thank you, everybody.